Have you ever heard of a house so cursed that even the bravest dare not enter? Today, we're going to reveal a terrifying case based on true events that took place in a small town in Romania. A story of possession, dark rituals, and a family that fought against forces beyond human understanding. But before we begin, make sure to hit that like button to support the channel and subscribe if you're a fan of scary stories. Turn on the notification bell so you won't miss any content, because here, fear is guaranteed. And now, get ready, because what you're about to hear might haunt you forever. Chapter 1. The Origin of Evil. Over 100 years ago, in a remote village in Romania, there lived a young woman named Anna Maria. To others, she seemed like a normal, kind, and devout girl. However, everything changed suddenly and inexplicably. Locals began to notice changes in Anna. Her skin grew increasingly pale, her eyes darkened, and she started behaving strangely. She began speaking in unknown languages, ones that even the priests in the region couldn't understand. Anna was also seen making strange gestures and movements with her body as if she were being controlled by an invisible force. Attempts to help her were futile. The exorcisms performed by local priests seemed to feed the evil consuming her rather than exorcise it. Each time they tried to cast out the demon that possessed her, Anna would scream and contort in inhuman ways. A few months after these manifestations began, Anna Maria was found dead in her home, with strange, deep marks covering her body. Villagers believed she had been possessed by something malevolent, and that when she died, the evil remained in the house, waiting for its next victim. Chapter 2. The Return of the Nightmare. Decades passed since Anna Maria's death, and the story became a local legend. Few remember the details, and many believed it was just a story made up to scare children. In 1977, a new family, the Popescus, moved into Anna Maria's old house. They knew nothing about the house's dark history, believing they were buying a charming old property at a great price. On the first night, strange noises echoed through the halls, footsteps, creaking doors, and whispers that seemed to come from within the walls. The family initially attributed the sounds to the old plumbing, but over the weeks, the supernatural events began to intensify. The youngest daughter, Clara, started having vivid nightmares, always involving a woman with empty eyes watching her with hatred. She woke up every night screaming, saying that Anna was back. The parents tried to comfort her, but Clara insisted that the woman wanted to take her. Desperate, the mother decided to investigate the house's past and was horrified to discover they had moved into the very place where Anna Maria had died under mysterious circumstances. Chapter 3. The Supernatural Manifestations. After discovering the house's dark history, the situation rapidly worsened. The Popescu residence became the epicenter of intense paranormal activity. Objects moved on their own, doors slammed violently without any apparent reason, and bodiless shadows were seen lurking in the corners of rooms. The atmosphere in the house was unbearable, as if the air was filled with a malevolent presence. Clara began to show signs of being consumed by something. She lost weight alarmingly, her eyes became sunken, and her skin took on a cadaverous pallor. Clara also started talking to herself, holding entire conversations in a language no one could understand. One night, her mother woke to the sound of whispers and, following the sound, found Clara sitting in the dark living room, talking to someone invisible. When questioned, Clara said she was speaking with Anna, and that she was very angry. The situation became so desperate that the Popescus called a priest to bless the house. However, when he tried to enter Clara's room, the priest was violently thrown back by an invisible force, unable to approach again. He warned the family that the presence in that house wasn't just a spirit, but something far more dangerous, something that did not want to be expelled. Chapter 4. The Paranormal Investigation. Not knowing where else to turn, the Popescu family sought help from a group of paranormal investigators. They arrived at the house equipped with cameras, recorders, and motion sensors, determined to document the activities occurring there. From the moment they entered, they felt the heavy and oppressive energy that filled the place. On the first night of the investigation, the recorders captured strange sounds, whispered voices, moans, and the sound of footsteps that belonged to no one present. In one of the most terrifying moments, while reviewing the recordings, they heard Clara speaking in a completely different voice from her own, almost inhuman, repeatedly mentioning the name Anna. The team also captured disturbing images. In several of them, Clara appeared but in a distorted way, as if being watched by something evil through the lens. In one of the images, Clara's figure stood in the middle of a dark room with a disturbing smile, even though the investigators confirmed Clara was in another room at the time of the recording. These evidences led the team to recommend that the family leave the house immediately. But before they could make any decision, Clara had a collapse, fainting in front of everyone as if something was draining her life force. Chapter 5. Regression to the past. With Clara in critical condition, the family decided to seek the help of a renowned hypnotherapist, who suggested performing a regression session on Clara to discover what was causing her deterioration. During the session, Clara entered a deep trance, and to the shock of everyone present, began speaking in the voice of Anna Maria. She described in disturbing detail the suffering she had endured before her death. Anna Maria revealed that she hadn't died naturally but had been the victim of a satanic ritual performed by a secret cult operating in the village. According to Anna Maria, the cult members chose her as a sacrifice to imprison a powerful demonic entity within her soul. She hadn't found peace after death because her soul was bound to the demon the cult had invoked. As Clara spoke, the room grew icy cold, and those present began to feel pressure on their chests as if the very evil was trying to suffocate them. The hypnotherapist tried to bring Clara back, but something was preventing her from leaving the trance. Clara, still under Anna Maria's control, began screaming that they were coming back to finish what they started and that no one in the house would be safe until the ritual was completed. Chapter 6. The Cult Reborn. The revelations made by Clara during the regression threw the Popescu family into an abyss of fear and paranoia. Determined to save their daughter and break the curse, the parents began investigating the descendants of those who had participated in the cult mentioned by Anna Maria. They discovered, to their surprise, that some of these descendants still lived in the region. One of the members, an old and reclusive man, was seen lurking around the Popescu house, watching it from afar with a disturbing expression. Determined to confront him, the family went to his residence, located in a secluded forest. Upon entering the house, they were greeted by a macabre scene, an altar with strange symbols and black candles burning incessantly. The man stared at them with empty eyes and said that Anna Maria's spirit would never rest as long as her soul was chained to the demon. He confessed that the cult had been reborn, with new members eager to complete the interrupted ritual. The old man claimed that if the demon wasn't released, it would drag everyone in the house into eternal darkness. Chapter 7. The Invasion of Evil. After the confrontation with the old man, the situation at the Popescu house deteriorated catastrophically. The negative energy in the house intensified, and Clara began exhibiting extremely violent behavior. She attacked her parents without any apparent reason, using a strength that didn't seem to belong to a girl her age. On one fateful night, the family woke to Clara's desperate screams. When they rushed to her room, they found the girl levitating above her bed, her eyes rolled back and foam coming from her mouth. The scene was terrifying. The room was filled with shadows that seemed to move independently, whispering incomprehensible words. The floor seemed to vibrate, and cracks began to form in the walls. The air was dense, hard to breathe, as if the house itself was alive and hostile. Clara's father, in a desperate act, tried to drag her out of the house but was stopped by an invisible force that threw him against the wall, knocking him unconscious. The mother, in desperation, managed to get out of the house, carrying Clara in her arms. When they stepped outside, absolute silence fell, but the evil still hung in the air, waiting for the right moment to strike again. Chapter 8. The Final Exorcism. With Clara on the brink of death, the family decided to seek the help of an experienced exorcist known for facing the most dangerous entities. The exorcist accepted the challenge, recognizing that the battle ahead would be intense. When he arrived at the house, the atmosphere was heavy, as if the evil was preparing for a final confrontation. During the exorcism, Clara fought against the holy words, screaming in an ancient and unknown language. The shadows in the room grew denser, almost solid, and the exorcist was forced to use all his faith and experience to keep the ritual going. He discovered that Anna Maria's spirit was trapped inside Clara and that the demon possessing her fed on the family's fear and suffering. After hours of struggle, the exorcist managed to weaken the demon, forcing it to reveal itself. However, instead of a simple entity, he was faced with something much older and more powerful, a primordial force of evil. Realizing he couldn't completely expel it, the exorcist did the unthinkable. He sealed the demon inside the house, imprisoning it with a forbidden ritual while Clara was freed from Anna Maria's spirit. Chapter 9. The Abandoned House. After the exorcism, the Popescu family abandoned the house, never to return. Clara slowly recovered, but the emotional and physical scars remained. The house was left empty, but rumors continued to circulate about strange activities occurring within. Neighbors reported hearing screams and wails coming from inside, and the few brave souls who dared enter were greeted by a sense of dread and disturbing visions. Over the years, the house was forgotten, overtaken by nature, its walls covered in ivy, its windows shattered. However, the evil trapped within it never disappeared. Local legends claim that on full moon nights, the figure of a pale woman with empty eyes could be seen wandering the corridors, searching for a new host. Some say the demon still waits for the day it will be released to complete the ritual and unleash chaos upon the world. Chapter 10. The Truth Behind the Legend. Decades after the terrifying events, a group of documentarians decided to investigate the cursed house to uncover the truth behind the legends. Equipped with modern technology, they entered the house intending to film and expose any paranormal activity they might find. However, upon reviewing the footage, they discovered that all their equipment mysteriously failed. The cameras captured only static, and the microphones recorded only deadly silence. But on one of the tapes, a single word was captured, whispered softly, "I'm back." The film crew abandoned the project immediately, and the recordings were locked away in a vault, never to be seen again. The house still stands today, a sinister reminder of the evil that dwells within its walls. Although many have tried to debunk the story, those who get too close to the truth end up facing the unexplainable. And so, the legend of the cursed house continues to haunt the imaginations of those who dare to hear its story. If this story sent shivers down your spine, remember that sometimes the most terrifying stories are the ones rooted in reality. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so you won't miss more spine-chilling tales like this one. Share this video with someone who loves a good scare, and let us know in the comments if you would dare to step inside the cursed house. Until next time, stay safe, and beware of what lurks in the dark.